Basically, take things down, hold on to them. Actually, I don't have letters from them, but they wanted me to just speak on what we're doing at the county and how they are working together as a team and how the county is operating. Speak on some of the things, so I'll watch that. So, Patrick, 1 minute first, and then
You won't be answering questions, so you can just give the whole 3 minutes, the 1 minute opening and the 2 minute closing.
Perfect. Oh, I get to talk. Thank you for allowing me to be here tonight on behalf of Commissioner Trafficani and Commissioner Ditzler. They both are running for Mahoney County Commissioner. They each have separate opponents, but they are not running against each other. I thank you again on their behalf, and I want to give you a little bit of idea of what we at the county are doing and what they're doing and what their passions are. Within the last couple of years, we all have dealt with the COVID issue, and a lot of things have happened and a lot of dollars have come into the county. This is something that is totally unique, we never had before, but it was a great opportunity to put money into the county, to put money into the hands of the citizens. And these are not our dollars, these were your dollars, these were federal dollars. They came back, but they actually came back into the county. 44 million just for Mahoney County Commissioners. Youngstown received 82 million. Even with that, the Mahoney County Board of Commissioners still used their dollars within the city of Youngstown. They not only used it outside in the townships and in other areas who didn't receive as much as Youngstown did, but we also did that because there was a need, and there were needs that people came, and it became dollars as people asked and requested. Any community who asked received something, including Youngstown. Some of the things that were done, they were able to partner with Catholic Charities, MyCap, Valley Partners, the YWCA, the Chamber, the Port Authority, County Engineer, Labor and Fire Chief Association to get EMT training and to provide the dollars for that because we did not have people that would want to be EMTs because they didn't want to pay the cost to do that. So this is to help that program grow because at that time they couldn't get people to want to be EMTs. We help with the land bank, Children's Services Board, with the prosecutor's office, providing additional funding for additional services for our children who are going through those issues and families. The mobile mills, we did voucher program. We did 150,000 for vouchers that went out that people would go to the mobile mill and they would be able to get those dollars. A lot of times people didn't even know those dollars were coming from the Mahoney County Commissioner's allotment, but they were. Some of the other things that we have, we talk about economic development. The commissioners, people have to understand the Ohio Revised Code and what the commissioners can and cannot do, and how they work with different agencies and how those things work. One of those agencies and the things that they have worked with is the Western Reserve Port Authority, the bed tax, which is allocated by the Mahoney County Commissioners for Convention and Visitors Bureau, and it's also, that's quick, wow. Anyway, for the Mahoney County, the bed tax and Port Authority is our economic development arm. You can see some of the things. I went to a meeting with them the other day. There are things that are happening out at the airport, all the dollars that are going out there. That's all because that is part of Mahoney County and Trumbull County Commissioners' economic development arm. The commissioners oversee over a $300 million budget. They have the education, the experience, and the drive to do that. They know our government, they know where we are, and I'm not going to get hit, so I'm going to stop now.
The Republican, and he is running for Mahoney County Commissioner.
You're going to intimidate me, Larry. I'm going to be scared. Hey, good evening, everybody, and I'm so glad you came out tonight. And I'd like to remind you that 2 years ago I was here and spoke to you, and my opponent at the time, Carol Rigetti, had another event, another something she had to do, so she left you here and she didn't show up. Tonight, Mr. Ditzler found something else was too important to show up and talk to you. Well, you have to think when you go to vote that where were they when I wanted to ask them a question? Where were they? They had something else to do. I will never let you down. I will never leave you without an answer to your question, and I will never disregard your presence here tonight. Whereas they can, I mean, there's other people in the dais here that go in the same party they're going to, but they came here first to represent, to show that they want to represent you. So So Dave and Carol thought it wasn't important enough, so anyhow. But I'm Jimmy DeFabio, and I'm dressed like this. I only have a little bit of a couple suits that I wear, and I came straight from work almost, and I didn't have time to press it. But, you know, Audrey was telling about all the stuff the commissioners do for us, and the $44 million we got. Well, I'm glad we finally said it's your money, because it certainly is your money. And when Mr. Disler said it at another forum, when I brought up about these mailers they send out, I said, you know, that's $80,000. He said, it's only $80,000. We have a $300 million corporation. Guys, $80,000 to me is a lot. I'm sure it's a lot to you. But when you get into that, I think something happens with these politicians. They get into a thing, and if it's not their money, they spend it, and it doesn't hurt. I want to protect every dollar that we acquire for the best interest of every one of you, and I think it's time we did that. And a rubber stamp is not the way to do it.
All right, so what is your experience preparing or authorizing budgets?
Preparing and authorizing budgets. Well, I've kept my home afloat along with my wife. Now, I'm sure Audrey here will tell you we have a budget department. Anything that I don't know exactly how to do, I can't do. See, this job is a lot about judgment calls, making the right judgments when somebody presents something to you. When Carol and Dave saw my supporters sitting next to me, they got infuriated. The budget took a hit on that one because they sued, my buddy had to end up suing the county because they broke the law. They fired him because they broke the law. It cost us insurance. Mr. Disler says, well, it didn't cost us anything. Anybody have any damage with that last storm? Anybody have any damage? Did you file an insurance claim?
Yep.
Was there a deductible?
Yep.
It cost you. Well, that's your money that they cost us. They did that. And there was other lawsuits where I'm telling you, I'm passionate, and yes, you know, your greatest weakness and your greatest strength. And both are how I was raised. I don't like when you mistreat people. I think when you treat people right, we get a better day's work out of them. And people work for us. We have to have the most productive and make them feel the most productive. And not threatened in their job by who they support or who they sit next to. That's not fair. Nobody would want to have that, and there's a lot of that going on in the county. Jobs and Family Services, there's up to 40 people a day that call off because of the conditions they work on. And when they do that, it puts more pressure on employees that are left. And certainly they don't take it out on the residents, but the residents aren't being served by, you know, when they put them under that kind of pressure. We need to do a better job of treating people how we treat them. We need to do a better job of finding the best people to put it as department heads. We absolutely do. We have a ton of ways to find people. People get hired at the county. You have to go on the website. You have to look over here, look over here, look over here. With all this, with everything we have, we can advertise for these jobs more openly. And I'm telling you, if you did a family tree, you'd be very surprised.
I just wanted to remind you that the question was about budgets and preparing them.
Okay.
But, so what qualifications should a commissioner have, and do you possess them?
Absolutely. You have to be able to, if whatever the job is, if it's a budget, if it's approving contracts, I certainly wouldn't disregard bids because it's something I put in a contract that consciously costs the taxpayers of this county $443,000. And then when asked about it, say, well, it's been the policy since 2008. Well, if you do something and it's costing you $450,000, 5 miles of road, and you make the policy, wouldn't you change the policy? No, they don't. It's all judgment. This isn't the sheriff. This isn't the coroner. It's doing the right thing by the people, and I don't think the people we have now, because they get along so well, doesn't mean they're doing the best job for you. Just because they get along, I don't want to pay for that. I don't want to pay taxes, so everybody gets along nice. I want to do the job at the behest of the taxpayers, and the working people in the county.
All right, so let's move on to infrastructure and environmental trade-offs. With infrastructure investment and environmental preservation often at odds, how will you make tough decisions regarding projects that promise economic benefit but may harm the environment, such as fracking or large industrial developments? Can you cite a specific example where you would oppose a project that brings jobs but risks significant environmental damage?
That's a great question. You know, I was talking to the lady knocking on doors, and I had her vote. I mean, she was talking, and she really liked what I said. And she goes, "Are you a Republican or a Democrat?" I said, "I'm a Republican." And the woman looked at me with a straight face, and her face just fell, and she goes, "Why do you want to destroy the planet?" I said, "Ma'am, please." I said, "Are you kidding me? We got to get past that." Republicans, I said, if we destroy the planet, where will we go? We don't have a special place where we're all going to go when we blow everything up. Of course we have to be safe. Of course we need clean air and water. Of course we do. Fracking, we have one of the greatest sources of energy. And as far as business and the economy and everything else, why should we buy our oil and why should we import natural gas and oil from countries that hate us and fund the terrorism and everything else?
That's national, but locally, can you cite a project that brings jobs but risks significant environmental damage?
I don't know. No, I can't. I don't know what one we have now.
Okay, so as a commissioner, what will you do to bring back the young residents that leave for college? How would you keep them in the city?
Well, first of all, we have to tell people it's okay not to go to college if you want to get into the workforce. I work for a machine shop. I've been here 32 years. There are good jobs. We have to convince them, say, well, you have to go to college or you're going to be on the street. I mean, I have my opponent constantly attacking me because I don't have a college education. I don't know how many people in here that disqualifies from any office because they'll call you stupid. We have to teach our young people that there's good jobs in the trades, and if you work hard, you can't succeed, and there are jobs here. That's what we have to do. We have to do a better job. I mean, why is it that Boardman and Youngstown both recently passed where we can't have any more gas stations, dollar stores, car washes? Because that seems to be coming here. If you look at Trumbull County is from the chamber. Between Mahoney and Trumbull County, we've got $4.6 billion of investment in the last 4 years. Over $4 billion can be identified in Trumbull County, and what Mahoney County got was crumbs. We have to do better. Whatever that takes to do better, we have to do better.
All right, so how often do you attend the Mahoney County Commissioner weekly meeting?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, I work every day. However, they come on about 1 o'clock on YouTube and I watch it. So one of my first things I would like to do is to move that meeting to a time when people, residents, could actually come and watch it, actually come and see it after work, people that do work. And I think we'd have it down at Oak Hill maybe. We should move the offices to Oak Hill. Because if we're going to send our residents there to get services, and we're going to send all those employees there, I think we should be there and have the same conditions, and then see how that goes. See how long we stay at Oak Hill to do that. Because that's wrong. It's wrong that they have it at 10 o'clock on Thursday. It's wrong that they let you speak for 3 minutes and don't answer a question. I'd like to know at what point, listen, if you ask me a question, be it in a meeting, on the street, or anywhere, and you'll know who your commissioner is, you won't have to say who you're running against, who has the office now. You'll get an answer. Not hide behind we don't answer questions.
So this last question is about population decline and socioeconomic impact. The county has been leading population for decades, leading to reduced tax revenues, school closures, and business flight. In specific terms, how will you address both the economic and psychological impacts of a shrinking population on the communities you serve? What is the specific plan for turning around population decline, and how do you balance revitalization with realistic expectations for growth?
Well, one thing is for certain, and under no uncertain terms, would I invite illegals just to start a little bit, I'll tell you that. We're never going to open up to what's happening in Springfield and some other communities, because that's untenable what happens there. We have to bring jobs back here. They've been saying it since I was a kid. It's been promised we're going to have the next best thing, the next best thing. Well, Trumbull County is actually doing that. We got to find out what they're doing right. We have to do a better job of selling Mahoney County, because we don't sell it now. We don't sell it at all. I mean, they got Kimberly Clark coming in Warren. They got Home Goods. They got that's the TJX warehouse. There's all kind of factories and buildings. We have to have something for young people to come here for. That's what we have to do. And we have to fix the problem with the property taxes. And it does no one any good. If I was a commissioner and I said, well, damn it, those property taxes are too high, I'm calling a press conference. That does nothing. That does nothing. You can't, and their thing is, well, I had a press conference on that. Press conference don't fix stuff. When we get something in our shop, you fix it, you're not done until you fix it. There's a problem with the ambulance service from 2 years ago. They says, oh, we're gonna have a meeting. Well, there's still a problem with the ambulance service. If you're having a heart attack, you might not get an ambulance. If you own a nursing home and you send a patient to the hospital, maybe you won't get them back because the ambulance has to leave. And then it's up to the extended care company to go find a way to get it back. And they need an ambulance. See, there's too many things. We always take the easiest course. If it's a hard problem, they don't want to be anywhere near it. And I'm still disgusted neither one of them came tonight.
All right, thank you, and can you give us your 2 minute close?
Okay, I'm Gino DeFabio. I drive a truck. That's what I do, honest to God. And I have a passion for everything in my life. I have a passion for my wife, my son, my family, and I have a passion to service. I've been running probably now for 3 years for this job. And what happened the last time, I lost by 130 votes. And it was tough. But what made me get through it was watching what they did to one of my best friends. They fired a guy with cancer for sitting next to me. There was testimony to that. Mr. Ditzler said, I'd love to put my hand on a Bible and tell the truth. Well, there was nothing that precluded him from saying what happened then. There's nothing today that precludes him from saying what happened then. I just want to do the right thing. Like I said, my best asset is how I was raised, because that's what I do. If I hold the door, if I help somebody, and I say, hey, they say, oh, thank you so much, I say it's how I was raised. I was raised to work hard, treat people with respect, and you'll get rewarded. Well, I don't see a lot of respect coming from these people. They're absolutely disrespecting you tonight by not showing up, and that's wrong. So when they ask for your vote, ask them where they were at the forum. Ask them what they thought was more important to attend. I would love to stand on a stage with Mr. Ditzler for an hour and go back and forth, and he can answer my questions and I'll answer his. I want to tell you, I've been married 41 years. I don't know if you've heard this. I've been at my job for 32, and I've been a Browns fan for a lifetime. So I'm committed. I'm committed to winning this race. I'm committed to changing the way county government runs, because all I hear is it's always been that way. And if it's always been that way, we're bragging now about, oh, we got all these roads paved, all these roads paved. Well, they raised your taxes. They raised your taxes to pay them. Yeah, they paved the roads, but they raised your taxes. A simple function of government, and they had to have another tax to do it. Thank you very much. I appreciate your vote to work with us.